everybody, welcome. Today we're going to talk a little bit about crypto. We'll be covering a lot of ground today, and it is because Joyce made me do it. You know, she's like, you got to cover this, and you got to cover this, and you got to cover that as well. And I'm like, no. What did you say? Did she say something? Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I'm like, no, we can't cover so many things. But then she's like, no, but it's important that the people know, and that's why we are here today. So bear with me, okay? It's going to be a long talk, right? There's going to be a lot of information. And because there's going to be a lot of information, I understand if like at some point you will zone out. And that's okay, right? But I just want to say that the most important part is the part at the very end, where I'll be sharing a little bit, I'll be sharing some biblical wisdom, some biblical principles on how we can approach this together. Yeah, so apart from that, all of the information can be found on the internet. And I consolidated my few months of experience, years of experience, in fact, in terms of like crypto and all that. So I'll try my best to explain it in the most like layman way possible. So if you guys are really expert, right, just take this as a refresher and then like stay behind for the biblical principle, which is like amazing one. All right, okay, cool. Let's do this. Introduction. Hi, my name is Broderick. I'm the founder of MissionDAO. On the side, I'm actually an NFT Web3 consultant, meaning that I work with brands and I work with companies and I work with charities, non-profit organizations to onboard them into the Web3 infrastructure. Yeah, so there's a going rate for my time at this point. So it is a bit ridiculous because I don't really have a lot of time. But for charities, for non-profit organizations, for churches, my going rate is actually 0 Ethereum per hour. So that is like an awesome rate. Yeah, my wife approves of that. So yeah, so so if you run a church, you run a charity, you run a non-profit, and you require some consulting when it comes to Web3, just holler at me, okay? The rate is $0. I run a fund. For a DAO. It's called BitDAO. We'll share a little bit more about that later. I run a fund for them. And what I do for them is actually I help them purchase and I help them trade NFTs. So I'm kind of a little bit like an art curator, an asset manager. Yeah, and then I'm also the founder of MissionDAO. Meaning I'm the chief servant. So I'm here to serve all of them and serve all of y'all. And yeah, all right, let's go. Just a reminder that this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have the license to do that. And it's good to see Mr. Lewis. Mr. Lewis is in the house. Good to see you, Lewis. Lewis is the COO of EX Sports is one of the sporting NFT companies that's doing really well, coming out from Dubai. So he's here today, and just want to say hi. Yes. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about blockchain. So in terms of blockchain assets, right? I'm going to dive right in. Okay. In terms of blockchain assets, there's fungible assets and there's non-fungible assets. So let's look at the right side of the screen right now. If you look at a non-blockchain asset, a fungible non-blockchain asset, you'll find things like the US dollars. You'll find things like oil and gold. These are fungible because 1 kilogram of gold is always worth 1 kilogram of gold, right? And there's also non-fungible, non-blockchain assets. So things like art is usually one of one, or they are serialized. So usually art is a non-blockchain, but they're also non-fungible. They are NFTs, but in real life. Watches as well. So if you own a luxury watch, or you own a 𝐦𝐤𝐿, or you own a Casio, if you own any watch, right, you'll realize that your watch is totally unique and it's different from every other person's watch. Even though it is like 𝐦𝐤𝐿 5 is the best watch. Hey, that's right, man. That's right. I started with a 𝐦𝐤𝐿 5 and I still have my 𝐦𝐤𝐿 5. And my 𝐦𝐤𝐿 5 is made in 1992, which is the year I was born. So yes, I really like my 𝐦𝐤𝐿 5. So let's say I have a 𝐦𝐤𝐿 5, right? And it's made in 1992. And someone else also have the same model 𝐦𝐤𝐿 5 that is also made in 1992. It is actually not fungible because like my watch, I wore that watch for years and I have kind of like destroyed it. And it have like some characteristic that is rare because, you know, I let it be exposed to the sun and stuff like that. Or maybe someone else come along and his watch is totally unused for the last 20 years. And yeah, the value of each watch actually differs. So it is a non-fungible asset. So I'm going to explain a little bit more before we dive into the blockchain side of it. So let's look at this. So what does fungible mean? Fungible means mutually exchangeable or interchangeable. So things like your US dollars, Singapore dollar, your Bitcoin. One Bitcoin is always worth one Bitcoin. One Ethereum is always worth one Ethereum. 1 kilogram of gold is always worth 1 kilogram of gold. My kilogram of gold does not differ from your kilogram of gold. My Ethereum there's no difference between my Ethereum and your Ethereum. One Ethereum is one Ethereum. So that is fungibility, meaning that they are mutually exchangeable and they are mutually interchangeable. Personally, I just need to make a disclaimer, right? I'm not like an expert in cryptocurrency, right? Because I spend most of my time thinking about non-fungible assets. Most cryptocurrency, they are fungible. And they have like technical analysis and they have like burn rate and stuff like that, which I try my best to understand. But I do struggle to understand cryptocurrency. But I will deem myself as an expert in NFT, so non-fungible stuff. So let's talk about non-fungibility. Non-fungibility means that they are not mutually exchangeable and they are not mutually interchangeable. That means that my house, which is located at this particular spot on Earth, is worth, is a different price from the guy who lives upstairs. According to HDB, the guy who lives one level above me, his house is actually worth $5,000 more than mine. Yeah, so that's quite interesting, right? Because even though it is exactly the same shape and it's almost exactly at the same location, just because he lives right above me, his house is worth a little bit more. Our houses, right, they are not mutually exchangeable. In the crypto world, your NFTs, they are not mutually exchangeable as well. So if you have a CryptoPunk, which is currently worth about 60 Ethereum at the base, doesn't mean you could sell it at 60 Ethereum. You could even sell it at 100, 200, 300 Ethereum, really depending on who's going to buy it. It's like art. People put a value to art. Similarly, they put a value to the CryptoPunk. They put like we're talking about art, you put a value on the Monet. One Monet is totally different from the other Monet. So you hear about the artists have you heard about the starving artists? The starving artists run out of Monet. Yes, cheers. I'm gonna take a drink. Yeah, I hope you guys understand fungibility for now. Fungible means can be exchanged. So a coin, dollar bill, those are all fungible. A piece of art, this wombat that I have right here, it is not fungible at all. Yeah, but then there are things that are fungible like money, and they are like, Bitcoin is totally fungible. Yes, let's move forward. Let's talk about fungible token. Once again, just a reminder, I'm not an expert of fungible token. I want to explain to you all the different types of fungible token. I have collected 7 types, just to share a little bit more. We'll start off with like stable coins. Stable coins are actually coins that are pegged to the US dollar. Yeah, so actually these are cryptocurrency. It's actually currency that you can use, right? The rest of the things that I'm going to talk about later, they might not function as currency like how we know it. That's why I like to call them tokens, or I like to call them coins, or I like to call them blockchain assets rather than currency, because I don't want people to have the misconception that Bitcoin is a currency, because it's almost impossible to trade with Bitcoin. Nobody is saying, hey buddy, can you transfer me 0.006 Bitcoin for that 𝐼𝐸 just now? Nobody is saying that. Nobody is saying that, hey, could you send me 0.2 Ethereum? Or like you go to a shop and say, how much is that dog? Oh, that dog is 2.5 Ethereum. Nobody says that, right? So we don't treat those coins as currency, but we treat them as tokens and we treat them as blockchain assets. So let's talk about stable coins. Stable coins, they're actually pegged to fiat. Fiat is another word for legal tender. Legal tender, not chicken tender, very different thing. Both delicious though. Jonathan would vouch for that, right? Jonathan, what do you have to say about chicken tender? Yes, sir. Thank you. Also in the crypto world, we spell SIR, we spell sir as sir, with the E instead of the I. I don't know why. Yeah. So anyway, stable coins. Stable coins, they are pegged to US dollars. So for example, USDC, which is United States dollar coin, is actually pegged to one United States dollar, right? So if the United States dollar go up and down, the USDC would follow up and down. right? One DAI as well. DAI is a different type of stable currency. They use a different technology to back it up. They use, it's also pegged to a US dollar. In Singapore, we have XSGD that is done up by XFR. One XSGD is actually equals to one Singapore dollar. One of the secret project, I don't know, I don't think it's secret. I think people know about this, but apparently not a lot of people know about it. You all can Google about it. It's called the Orchid Project. Have you heard about the Orchid Project before? No. The Orchid Project is actually the digital Singapore dollar. It's something that the government is working on. So very soon we'll have cryptocurrency in Singapore dollar called, I don't know what they are going to call it, but the project is called Project Orchid. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. The use case for stablecoin is actually there's lots of use case, right? If people use it for payment, I get paid in USDC, I get paid in USDT sometimes. Sometimes I get paid in DAI. So I mean, really depending on the company that I work for. People use USDC, all this for payment. They use it for payment of service. Let's say I'm paying for someone to audit my contract. I'm paying him in USDC, 2,000 USDC or 3,000 USDC. If I'm paying an artist, I'm paying them USDC, 1,000 USDC, because we transact mostly on USDC, USDT, and BUSD, mainly because they're stable. Yeah, and it's more functional than transacting in Ethereum. So this might answer a lot of questions that people might have already. Yeah. So the other things that people use, people, oh, cool. All right, we need to unmute someone. Yeah. Anyway, thanks, Ryan. Thanks for looking into that. Yes. So when it comes to use case, let's see. Why is there a number 8? Okay, that's slide number 8. The other use case for stablecoin, people use it for lending. People borrow it for business. They lend it to get interest. It's also good to provide liquidity in order to provide some value to the coin that people are providing. Whether it's Ethereum, Ethereum is often backed with a liquidity pool of USDC or USDT. That's what gives the cryptocurrency their value. People also use stable coins as collateral. So you could put in some money, you put in some money, you could borrow some money. You put in some money, you could borrow an asset, or you can rent a place. So people use stable coins the way they use cash in the real world. So I think this is one of the easiest way to step into cryptocurrency. But first, actually owning some stable coins, because stable coins will help you operate in the infrastructure a lot better. Yes. So moving forward, these are high market cap coins. So these are your coins that you hear about in the newspaper all the time, right? Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I would say that they're the lower risk coins. Once again, not financial advice, but these coins are less likely to be affected by volatility, because there is like trillions of dollars, billions of dollars, trillions of dollars in the market cap, meaning that in order to manipulate the market, it is super difficult because there is so much of it inside. Bitcoin is the OG coin. It's one of the first coin that was made. It uses this technology called proof of work. There's a whole sploosh about like Bitcoin and how Bitcoin is digital gold. I will recommend a book to you. It's called The Bitcoin Standard. It's a great book. It will help you understand the concept of Bitcoin. The thing about Bitcoin is that Bitcoin is they exist in a limited supply. So the people in the crypto world see Bitcoin as digital gold because it is scarce. Because at some point, Bitcoin will kind of like there will not be any new Bitcoin being minted. So Bitcoin is kind of like the standard of the cryptocurrency market. People treat it as gold. They would put some of their savings in Bitcoin because they see it as an asset, like a gold as an asset class that they want to keep. Ethereum is actually very, very different. Ethereum is actually very functional. Ethereum is the pioneer of smart contract, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. On Ethereum is more than just a coin, more than just a token. Ethereum actually built this thing called the ERC, and they have this giant crazy mechanism called the EVM, which is the Ethereum virtual machine. Why is Ethereum so useful? Because there's a lot of apps. We put dApps, right? DAPP, right? Because they are decentralized apps. There are a lot of apps that are actually built on Ethereum. There are a lot of smart contracts that is actually set on Ethereum. Yeah, so Ethereum, it functions as a network where people will build things on it. There is even a programming language. Someone was asking about programming language called Solidity that people will write code, they will write program, they will write games, they will write contracts, they will write marketplace contract, they will write minting contract, they will write lending, borrowing protocol project, all on this programming language. Yeah, so the ERC network is one of the most widely used network. A lot of organizations build their stuff on the ERC network. And in order to operate in the ERC network, you have to pay Ethereum. You have to give Ethereum in order to use that network. So Ethereum, like what someone like Jian say, it is a utility. There is a utility to Ethereum because people are using Ethereum on a regular basis. I like to get paid in Ethereum because I use Ethereum for my work all the time. Yeah. Oh yeah. Is BTC a pocket calculator though? I don't know how I feel about that. All right, anyway, so Ethereum is super useful. This is super useful. I think Jonathan's illustration is very good. All right, let's move on. These are the high market cap fungible blockchain asset. So moving forward, they are the mid market cap. Why are they mid market cap? Because actually there are less people who own these assets, that value this asset, than as compared to, where's Luna? I'm sorry, dude. Luna, it's like out of the picture, right? You guys haven't made it to top 10. It's fine. Mid market cap. John, please don't go and check if it's top 10, okay? I'm sorry that I forgot about Luna. I only have so much space, okay? This is not exhaustible at all. There are a lot of altcoins. These are your mid-market cap coin, meaning that they have not attained to the level of Ethereum. They have not attained to the level of Bitcoin, but they are trying their best, right? Everybody have heard of Binance. Binance is actually more than just an exchange. Binance actually created a whole BSC network, Binance Smart Chain Network, where people will build games onto Binance. So there are a lot of quite cool games, that's built on Binance. Lending, borrowing. Yeah, John, you guys are live for a while, then you might drop down again. But anyway, yeah, people will build games on Binance. People will build exchanges on Binance, smart contract integration, marketplace on Binance. They are doing the same thing effectively as Ethereum, but at a much cheaper rate. And that's why people like Binance. And similarly for Solana and Matic, actually everybody's kind of like doing the same thing. They're trying to build their own bridge. So Solana have their Sol network, Luna have their Terra network, Matic have their Polygon network. The thing about Matic is interesting because Matic wants to be integrated with without change, without answer. All right, cool. Thanks. I will do that. Yeah. So when it comes to the mid-market coin cap, the mid-market cap coins, right? They are pretty interesting, because they are all new companies, newish, 2-3 years, and they are all trying to do the same thing, and everybody's trying to outdo each other. So Solana is doing a really, really good job. Solana is doing a good job when it comes to NFT because of the technology that is underlying. It's a lot more cost efficient as compared to something like Ethereum. So everybody's kind of like competing, trying to be the next platform that people will build a lot of things on. I would say that Binance have a good chance. So these are your mid-market cap coins. It is not exhaustive. There are many other coins and there are many other companies. So I think that is the way that I would approach it. But I would say that mid-market cap coins, they are very risky. When you buy a coin, you're actually buying shares into a company, right? See my inverted commas, right? You're buying shares in a company. You're actually betting on the small boys and you're hoping that, Binance, maybe they will do well and hopefully they will become a bigger company than they were 1 year ago. So when we approach these coins, we don't see them as currency that we are buying, but we see them as companies that we are supporting, that we are buying into their infrastructure. So I think that's a good way to approach it. So before anybody step into buying any sort of altcoin, we need to do a lot of research. We need to be very sure that Binance is great. Binance have good bosses, good structure, good demand. The problem that they are solving have good solution. The way that you approach any other company that you're investing in, buying stocks, buying shares in, you will approach it buying an altcoin. You will approach it buying Ethereum for that matter. And you want to come in being fully aware of the risks, of the rewards, and understanding it as a share, like shares in a company, as compared to just buying a coin and hoping that it goes up, right? Because that is gambling effectively. So it's very important in crypto to do your own research, right? Take time and think about these things. Talk to people about it. Watch videos about it before you arrive at a conclusion to decide, okay, I'm going to put this amount of money into Solana because I think that Solana is going to do well in the future. Disclaimer, personally, I'm not invested in altcoins at all, right? Do we have altcoins? We have some altcoins, but like tiny bit of our resources are in altcoin, mostly because I don't understand them. I don't understand them enough to want to put my own, put a lot of money into them. So that is kind of like the mid-market cap coin. We have very little Ethereum. We have very little Binance coin, like $50 worth or something like that. I have 0 Solana. I think I have like maybe $500 worth of Matic. Most of my assets are actually in stablecoin. Otherwise, they're in NFT or they are in Ethereum, which is the base of which I operate my business. Yeah, so I'm going to move on. Low market cap, there are a lot of low market cap coins, okay? Currently, there is 16,950 on the coin market cap, and it's increasing every day. I want you all to see them as startups, right? See them as SME trying to break out, trying to be listed. There are so many coins, new coins are being added every day. Some of them will succeed, but can I tell you the truth? Most of them will not. I have been in the industry for a while now to see many coins try to do something, but fail because, maybe it's just not the right time. Maybe it's not the right product. Maybe there's not much demand. For whatever reason, people fail. This, when you're buying a low cap coin, you're actually kind of like buying into a startup. It might make you a lot of money, but you might lose everything as well, right? So think of them as startup. Some of them are like Apple. If you were back in the 2000s, Apple is one of the small stocks, right? But people were buying to them because they think that, oh, Steve is a visionary and it might be worth something in the future. But most of them will shut down. So, as we have seen, the .com bubble and all that, everything that have happened over the last few years, we have seen some succeed, but many wouldn't. So again, do your own due diligence, do your own research, and understand the high risk that you are approaching a project with, you're approaching a coin with. So this is the fungible blockchain asset. I'm going to move forward a little bit faster. Next one, gaming coins. So gaming coins, I really like gaming coins. Okay, I have lots of the gaming coins, and the reason is because I like games. Right? I like to play games. My friend here, crypto. In fact, I will share with you a little bit more later. My wife is the one who got me started on playing crypto games, and one of the first few coins that I bought is actually AXS, which is Axie Infinity Shards. These coins are totally useless, and we use it to breed more little creatures, right? Of course, over the few months, people start to put value on those little creatures. People start to put value on AXS. We have seen AXS went up to $100, and now we are back at like $70 or something like that. But still ridiculously expensive for a gaming coin. Illuvium as well. Illuvium, it's a pre-alpha game, meaning that this game haven't even existed. Haven't even exist. They are still building this game. But this coin is already in circulation because in the future, when Illuvium is live, people will be able to use ILV, Illuvium coin, and they will use it in the game itself. So there are tons and tons of gaming coin, and this is by no means exhaustive. I happen to like 𝐴𝐿𝐵 Valley a lot. I just happen to have a lot of 𝐴𝐿𝐵 Valley token because it looks like Harvest Moon, which is a game that is super nostalgic to me, which I really enjoy. So I want to play the game, that's why I have the coin, right? So if you're not a gamer, you don't believe in gaming, you don't understand games, and you don't really want to play the game, don't buy gaming coins. Yeah, but if you're a gamer, I think it'll be very fun, right? It'll be very fun to hold some gaming coins if you want to play the game, especially if you're a gamer. Yes, moving forward, these are other coins. There are other coins. There are meme coins. Do you like dogs? Right? Do you like dogs? If you like dogs, there are a lot of meme coins. These coins have no meaning. They have no meaning at all, right? You have Doge, you have Shiba Inu, you have Floki, you have Elon Musk coin. That's the one on the right. That's actually Elon Shiba coin. It's funny, right? And these coins are totally useless and totally speculative. And I'll say, do not put your money in meme coins unless you believe in meme coin. Who is Crypto Ming? Who is Crypto Ming? I want to call this Crypto Ming out, right? because he called out the coin that I sneak in. Actually, if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, there's a coin there, and it's the Ombrage coin. Yeah, it is Ombrage coin, and this coin is actually created after, some of y'all would know, there's a Singapore Press Holding Conference, and then there's this guy, CEO of SPH, and he said, I take umbrage at your comment, and he have this finger, he have this finger thing that he did. I take umbrage at that comment. So someone took a photo of that finger and made it into a coin, and now it is a meme coin, and it's called the Ombrage coin. And I saw the coin, and I sent it to my friends, and I'm like, so funny, people made an Ombrage coin out of his, that meme, and it went parabolic, and it went up, I don't know, like 200 times the value, and it's purely speculative. And I'm like, wow, people are crazy, and people are like really crazy. Yeah, it really peaked really high, and it crashed the next day. I have no idea why people will even play it. So it's highly speculative. My advice for Christians especially, don't dabble in meme coin, because the truth is you don't understand meme coin. You are not a cultural historian, and you are not someone who can predict human behaviors or understand market speculation, unless of course you are, then go for it, right? But most of us, I would say like 99.9% of us, we are not. So don't touch these things, right? Because it's ridiculous. Moving forward, scam coins. So there are a lot of scam coins out there. We call them rug pull. So if you look at the video, that guy would be pulled out of his rug. So if people come out to you and say, yeah, the Squid Game coin, that's one of them. There are many coins. There are scam coin. They pretend to be something, but they're not. So once again, if you don't understand something, don't buy it, right? It's super important. Talk to at least 5 person, right? Before you decide that this deal is legit, right? Don't watch TikTok and YouTube and make your decision based on something that influencers say that, hey, this coin is he's going to blow up. Do not do that, because if you do that, you can't blame that guy on TikTok when you get rug pulled. So there are many scam coins. There are many Ponzi coins in the market. So we do need to be very, very careful. Yeah, there are a lot of bad actors in this space. We don't want you to get scammed, right? So talk to somebody. If there's nobody you can talk to, reach out to any one of my team members, ask them, what do you think about this coin? And if they have not heard about that coin before, if I have not heard about that coin before, we should probably be wary and not rush into making a decision. Yeah, scam coins, it's a thing. Let's talk about non-fungible assets. Oh man, I'm finally in my gray zone, because the reality is that when it comes to cryptocurrency, when it comes to the fungible coins, I'm not that good at it. Louis will be much better, at this, and he will be able to share more with you. And I'm sure many of y'all in this call will be able to articulate fungible tokens better than I do. But let's talk about non-fungible token. This is a little bit of an area of expertise for me. I spend many hours a day, up to 12, 16 hours a day, thinking about NFTs, writing about NFTs, making NFTs, trading NFTs, talking to people about NFT, being in voice call about NFTs. So this is a little bit of this is where it gets a little bit more fun. Yes. So let's look at this again. Let's look at this chart again. Non-fungible. Non-fungible means they're not mutually exchangeable. They are not mutually interchangeable. Physical non-fungible assets are like your watches, your artwork, your houses, your car even, that's an NFT. Digital non-fungible assets are something that we're going to talk about in the next few slides. How are we doing on time? Ryan, can you give me a thumbs up? I think I'm like halfway through. Awesome. All right, let's talk about art. Let's talk about Tesla NFT. Yes, they are. Let's talk about art. There are many types of non-fungible blockchain assets, right? Art, digital identity. There's 11 categories that I've identified, and I'll run through all of them, so you'll have a deeper understanding of what an NFT is. So let's start with art. Art is art, right? It is made by an artist, and an artist will put the artwork out there, and the value of the art is actually determined by the community. The value of the art is actually determined by the buyer. So if you look at this guy, his name is Andy Tong. Andy Tong is a local comic book artist. He put up a piece of art and he sold it, and people bought that art. So that art is worth something because of that, right? If you look at the bottom left hand, that is Currency by Damien Hirst. You know what? I have been thinking the whole day today if I should buy a Currency by Damien Hirst. And for those of you who are not familiar with the art world, Damien Hirst is kind of like a legendary artist, legendary living artist. And he made a lot of crazy artwork and he made a lot of headlines. He's like the name of the art world. And he made this NFT, actually, these digital assets called currency. And basically the idea is this, right? He have 10,000 copies of this currency and they're all different and they're all unique. What he does is he hand paint all of them. He kind of like hand paint all of them. He scanned it, and then he have a digital version of it. So he did this last year. And he started selling it last year. He had been trading for a while now. And he said this, by the 21st of July, 2022, right, you will have to make a decision. And that decision is either you, number one, destroy the digital artwork. Number two, destroy the physical artwork. You have to choose one or the other. So you have to choose either to destroy your digital art or you have to choose to destroy your physical art. So he made us choose, right? What do you value more? A physical artwork by myself, or do you value a digital artwork by myself? And it's the same piece. So this put a lot of people in that space of like, what do I do? The most recent survey shows that 70% of the people will keep the digital artwork and destroy the physical one. And I don't know what will happen, honestly, when we hit July, whether people would choose to retain the physical artwork or they will choose to destroy the digital artwork and keep the physical one. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a social experiment that Damien Hirst is doing. I would want to buy one very soon if the price is right. So these art pieces, they are collectible. People collect them because people like to collect art. People like beautiful things. That is what Damien Hirst is doing. Chromie Squiggles, that is actually done by this company called Art Block. So this is fully like on the art scene. If you don't understand art, don't buy art NFT, right? You have to understand a little bit of art before you come in and buy art NFT, right? If you are an art collector, this will be a very easy space for you to navigate because you can hop right in and you will be able to identify good art to buy. If you're an art curator, this is a space for you. This is not difficult for you at all. It's just a change of medium, instead of oil on canvas, you're getting digital artwork. So that's pretty cool. This is an NFT. One of the first few applications of NFT is actually art, and they exist quite robustly. Digital identity. Digital identity is actually all the rage in 2021. 2021 is the year of digital identity. Many people are changing their profile picture to a Bored Ape Yacht Club. They're changing it to a cool cat. Or recently, in the last 1 month, if you look at the bottom right, there is Fanta Bear. Fanta Bear is actually done by this artist called 𝐸𝐸, and then he did it in collaboration with 𝐽𝐸, Zhou Jielun. So people love Zhou Jielun, people love 𝐽𝐸, and people started buying because they want to be affiliated to 𝐽𝐸, and they want to be a part of the club, 𝐽𝐸 club. So digital identities are pretty cool. They are all the rage. They are kind of like they are like the digital avatars where people live their life vicariously through. Most of the time when you're talking to people on Discord in the NFT world, they will not put their normal face, right? They will just put a PFP, a profile picture, right? So those are pretty cool stuff, things that people are buying. People buy Bored Ape Yacht Club. It is also a PFP. I didn't put it here, but people buy the Bored Ape Yacht Club. The reason is because they want to be a part of this exclusive club. And being in this exclusive club means that you get access, you get membership, you get utility. There's like benefits that come with being in this country club. So it's similar for all other PFP project. You have that. You actually state your status symbol in the community. People know the Kaiju Kings for buying, a lot of NFTs. People know the Cool Cats for being family friendly, being good vibes, creating good games. That's what they love the Cool Cats for. The TOS Moonwalkers, they are great for fashion. So like if you're a fashion person, Moonwalkers is a thing. All right, I'm gonna move up. I need to move forward a little bit. Right. So membership access. These are your digital access. Having these NFTs will allow you to come into spaces where you can have conversation with people that you can never have conversation with before. So these are some of them. They add benefits. They give you privilege where you can buy things earlier or you can sell things earlier, or you can have a conversation with an artist to create something together, to do business together. Personally, I hold a lot of membership access because of the nature of my work. I need to network and I need to connect, and I need to be in these spaces when I can talk to people and I could get their thoughts on certain things that I want to buy or I want to sell. Yeah, so membership access is another type of NFT. We have media content. This is where you own a piece of digital media, whether it's the Nyan Cat or Autoglyph. Autoglyph is like music. You actually own a piece of music. There's a lot more to be said about media and content and NFTs and how we can apply. So by owning this thing, you can monetize it if the IP laws allow you to monetize it. Yeah, ticketing an event, a very widely used NFT actually right now. For most events like NFT NYC, a lot of the events in Dubai, they actually use as the ticket. So you can use the ticket, you can sell the ticket, you could do lots of stuff with the ticket. You can bring the ticket on site and enter into the physical event. So whether it's a Halloween party or a business summit, people do use NFTs as ticketing. Right. So moving forward a little bit faster, we have virtual land. So these are plot of land in the virtual world, whether it is in Sandbox or Decentraland. There are many, many other lands, all digital wearables. So you could wear these shoes, when you're playing in Sandbox, or you can wear this T-shirt if you're a MetaKey VIP. You can walk around Decentraland wearing that VIP T-shirt. So it's pretty cool. The NFL, actually are experimenting with seasonal ticket that you can transfer, through NFT. So ticketing, virtual land, those are things that actually have real world utility and is slowly being adopted in the various industry. So let's say you're a church, you want to run a conference. This is one way that you can utilize NFT by selling tickets for events and stuff like that. Yeah, JJ Lin bought virtual land. Yes, he used it for a concert. That's pretty cool. Fashion. This is really cool. Adidas just did a collaboration with Punks, with Bought a Yacht Club, and with this guy called G Money to release actually merchandises. So if you own an Adidas NFT, you could send it and you can burn it. The moment you burn it, you can get a physical hoodie. And this hoodie, of course, will be super limited edition and you'll be rare. And if you understand the hype market and you understand StockX, you understand the value of these hype clothes. Yeah, so in order to get these hype clothes, you must have an Adidas into the Metaverse NFT, and that will allow you to claim for physical merch. So for Adidas, there's 4 different types of merchandise that you can claim over the year 2022. After that, the token will have different utility. Adidas and Prada just announced a collaboration yesterday. So I'm hoping to get in. I'm hoping to get some Adidas and Prada NFT. And I'm sure that will be worth a lot of money. For me, I'm just going to sell it. Right, I'm going to sell it to someone who wants it. Because I'm not a big Prada fan, but I love Adidas. So I'm going to keep I have kept my Adidas into the Metaverse NFT. So people use it for fashion, and there's a lot more application for NFT and fashion in the years to come. We have heard of Kanye West wanting to step into doing NFT with Yeezys. So that is still in the pipeline and people are working towards it. So that's where also membership access comes into play. If you're a member in some of these clubs, you actually do get exclusive invitation to purchase these things in advance. Gaming. So I mentioned a little bit about gaming. NFT gaming is huge, right? 2022 is the year of NFT gaming. So we have games like Galaxy Fight Club, which is a MOBA, is a multiplayer online battle arena game. So it's kind of like I keep forgetting the real world equivalent for that game, but it's a very popular game, right? That people play all the time. MOBA. Cypher Inu is a shooter game, and it's Brawl Stars. Yes, I always forget. It's Brawl Stars, and it's a little bit like Super Smash Bros. If you play those games. Axie Infinity is the cult favorite. Is one of the best games done in 2021. We have lots of people playing that game. Myself, Alvin included, my wife. That's how we got started in NFT in the first place. Chumbi Valley, I really love Chumbi Valley because it's a mix of Pokemon, it's a mix of Zelda, and it's a mix of Harvest Moon, which is like my 3 favorite game of all time. So personally, I'm invested in Chumbi Valley because I want to play the game. I want to be a part of the ecosystem and I want to enjoy the metaverse that Chumbi Valley is creating. So POAP, pretty cool. POP stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol. So you get one of these badges when you attend an event. So these badges actually can be used for future utility. For example, I own an open DAO POAP for voting. And because of that, I get to claim a free NFT, which made me, I don't know, $300 just like by being around. So that's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. This POAP actually serves as pieces of memory that you will remember the event by. So you look at it and you're like, oh yes, I was there at the first Cypherian wall. I was there at the sandbox integration, the pop-up sandbox integration. So it is kind of like memories that you will keep forever, like little memorabilia. They're worth little to nothing usually. Domains are pretty cool as well. Domains, so I own Broderick.eth. So if you decide to send some money, you can send it to Broderick.eth and it will arrive at my account because I have bought that domain very much the same way as like if someone owned www.blockchain.com, they can sell that domain for a lot of money in the future. So personally, I bought Broderick.eth, I bought tacocat.crypto. So these are like my domains that I could actually sell if one day Matthew Broderick decides to buy the domain. He could buy it from me. I would sell it to him for like 3 Ethereum, I would make some money. I kind of claim it for free. So, I'm happy to sell it to Matthew Broderick. If anybody here know Matthew Broderick and he wants to buy the Broderick.eth. So yeah, let me know. Let me know if you know Matthew Broderick. Lastly, DAO governance token. I'll share a little bit more about DAO in the slides to come. But it's very interesting because these are actually governance token. You could use them for voting, making decision. What is a DAO? Brian, how are we doing? Keep going. All right. I saw the comment. It says Irene DAO. Irene DAO is not a DAO. Fun fact, it's not a DAO. Okay, moving forward. What is a DAO? DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. What is decentralized? Decentralized means that there's a dispersion and the distribution of functions, meaning that decision-making is not consolidated on top, but rather it is separated, it's decentralized to the people. Autonomous means that they have its own laws. So we will write our own law and we will use it to actually create certain way of decision-making. Yeah, so it is outside of human intervention. So that is kind of like a DAO. Yes, big concept. I will have a whole talk about what a DAO is in the future, in the days to come. We have to arrange for that because I believe that this will be the future of organization. More and more organization will lean and slant towards a DAO approach when organizing their structure. Yeah, especially new organization. So a simple DAO will have stakeholders who own tokens, and with this token, they get to vote and they get to make decision. They get to make decision about, for example, the zombie toads. Let's see if I can get there. The zombie toads DAO. We are actually voting on whether we should buy more NFT. For Doodle, we are thinking about whether we should commission this artist or whether we should do this philanthropy work. So we would, make this decision together as a DAO. We will all vote. Very democratic. There is no hierarchy structure. Every holder have an opportunity to shape the organization. As opposed to centralized organization, let me show you a few centralized organizations like OCBC, JP Morgan, KFC. They have their advantages because it's very easy for them to implement common policies and practice, whereas in a DAO, it requires voting, it requires time. For a centralized organization, easier for them to coordinate and to control. So that's why McDonald's always stays the same, because it's a centralized organization. They have to follow the certain set of protocol. Yeah, and also big centralized organization have economy of scale. They get to do a lot of things. Facebook is a centralized organization. That's why they have $2 billion to invest into the metaverse. Yeah, so that's the difference between centralized and decentralized, mostly in the decision-making process. Yeah, so these are some DAOs. BitDAO is amazing. It's the biggest DAO in the world. I think it's currently valued at $2 billion. 2 billion, around that range, $2 billion. And what they do is they exist to make more money. So they have deals, they have DeFi project, they have farming project, they have NFT projects. They're doing that so that they could gain more money for the DAO. As the DAO grow, the value of the DAO token grow as well. So people invest in them as if they are an investment firm, a hedge fund firm, an investment organization. So it's like investing in BlackRock. So if that's some context for people. Beats DAO is a little bit different, right? Beats DAO actually, they are invested in buying music NFT. So that's pretty cool. People pool money together and then they would into 𝐵𝑒ats_DAO, and 𝐵𝑒ats_DAO will purchase different music NFT. They will curate and they will purchase different music NFT, hoping that music NFT will become more and more popular in the days to come. Decentraland is also a DAO. It is a city planning committee, because Decentraland is actually a city by itself. There's land in the city. Yeah, there is land in the city, and Decentraland is actually run by a committee of people who hold DAO votes, so they can vote. Should we build a mall here? Should we allow this person to build here? Should we sell this land to this person? Should we open up more land to sell? Should we demolish this building? Should we do this? Should we do that? So they actually make a decision. They will actually make decision as a DAO. So these are the DAOs that exist. 𝐷𝑒_TOTES, I would share a little bit more about 𝐷𝑒_TOTES next time. But it's my first DAO. It's the first DAO that I buy into. And it is pivotal in shaping the way that MissionDAO started. It's the origin story of MissionDAO, which I'll share a little bit more later. Decentralized governance. This is a little bit more about a DAO, how a DAO is set up. DAO usually use Gnostic safe as a multi-sig safe, meaning that in order to access the funds, they require a lot of people. We could set the number of people that should be around in order to move the money. It's kind of like, it's a safety measure to ensure that no one person or no group of people can run away with the money. So Gnostic safe is one of the things that DAO would use to secure their assets. Snapshot module. This is our voting module. So different, DAO have different type of voting system, but most DAOs would use Snapshot as a voting mechanism. So it looks a little bit like this for zombie toads. In the zombie toads, there's actually a proposal that's put up that says that continue to buy for the vote. Are we going to add more things to the vote? We will vote yes or no. There's also a vote to ask, should we hire Joan for marketing? So we read the proposal that someone put up to talk about, I'm going to pay Joan 2 Ethereum a month, and then she's going to run marketing for us. So that is kind of like the decision-making structure of a DAO. And then Zombie Toads is a small DAO because it's only like less than 200 people involved, and we're all like voting. We are here. We are at the Metaverse. I know I'm going a little bit fast. I know there are also a lot of questions, but because of the time that we have, I will slow down now because Metaverse is quite important, right? People ask, what is a Metaverse? The word meta actually means beyond, right? So Metaverse actually means a universe beyond our own. This is not a financial advice, not that it is. And there are a lot of questions asking, what is the Metaverse, right? How do you define the Metaverse? I would just define it as it is a universe that is outside of our own. It's a universe that is beyond our own. And the reality is, when I was growing up, I actually lived in the Metaverse. It sounds like a shocker to a lot of people, but let me try this, okay? So I hope you can listen. Can you hear this? Can you hear this? How many of y'all recognize this music? Yes, right? 𝐾𝐨𝑚. This is 𝐾𝐨𝑚. Right? People know where this is. Why? Because you spend a large amount of your time living in Metaverse. Yeah, you spawn Barok to kill everyone. Right? You spend a lot of time, in this Metaverse. And the Metaverse is called MapleStory. Okay, let me install the music, right? How do I install the music? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. We are back here. Right. So we spend a lot of time. We spend a lot of time in this Metaverse called MapleStory when I was younger. When I was younger, my life looked like this. I go to school. After school, I would chill out with my friends. But 8 p.m., I'm on MapleStory. I'm in MapleStory. I'm living vicariously through my gaming avatar, right? And then I'm hanging out with my friends. I have friends in Singapore. I have friends in Malaysia. It's a Southeast Asia thing. I have friends in the Philippines, and we are all friends in MapleStory, and we would spend time, a lot of time, in fact, 5 hours a day, 8 hours a day, unhealthy amount of time, living vicariously through our... Sorry, I think someone is unmuted. Oh, sorry, let's jump back. Yeah, so I will spend a lot of time, living in MapleStory. And maybe for you, it looks a little bit different. Maybe for you, sorry. Maybe for you, it is living in RuneScape, right? Maybe some of you play RuneScape and you have a lot of friends in RuneScape. Do you know that when I was younger, right, my value in my school, my value in my school is actually determined by my ranking in MapleStory, right? People think I'm cool because I have a high level MapleStory character. It's very sad. It's very sad. World of Warcraft, that is something as well. People spend money and they spend time. They live vicariously through their avatar in World of Warcraft. The metaverse is not new. The metaverse have existed for a long time. And I think that there are a lot of people still in the metaverse. They're just playing different games. Our kids today, my nieces, they're actually in the metaverse of their own. It's called Roblox. Some of you have kids and you all know what Roblox is. And they live in that. They live in that metaverse. They meet their friends there. They hang out there. They listen to music there. Their status in their society is determined by the level that they are in Roblox, the items that they own in Roblox. So the metaverse is not a new concept. It has been around for a long time. Yes. Sorry, it always play. Today, the metaverse that will be more popular in the future will be things like Decentraland, Horizon World, which is done by Facebook or Meta, and Sandbox. Why are these metaverses better in a sense? It's because they're open world and because they are built on NFTs, right? The thing about MapleStory is that MapleStory can just delete my account tomorrow if I stop playing. They can just delete my account, or they can ban me if they don't like me, or they can accidentally ban me. I don't actually own anything that I have in MapleStory, whereas in Decentraland or in Sandbox, they can't block you or they can't ban you from the server. Yeah, so it is more of an open world. And that's why I think more and more people are slowly moving into Decentraland and people are moving into Sandbox. However, adoption is still slow, right? We are still, I would say, 5-10 years from full adoption. Yeah, but the people that will enter into the metaverse, the new metaverse in the years to come, they're actually the youths and the kids, because they are really used to living in the metaverse. This is not new to them. It's just a migration of software. From Roblox, they move to Horizon World. It is the same thing essentially for them. Yeah. So anyway, metaverse, not a new concept. Let's jump back here. And one of the things that we want to do, as MissionDAO is we want to do evangelism in the metaverse. I actually believe that in the next 2 years, right, the largest unreached people group will exist in the metaverse, meaning our young people, our kids, and people that we will never have even meet, right, haven't met before, right, they will exist in the metaverse. They will spend a lot of time in the metaverse. The question is, like, will the church be there? Will the presence of God be there? Will they find good godly values in the metaverse, or will they find all sorts of trash, which is the reality that we have today? So we'll talk about MissionDAO a little bit later, but MissionDAO exists to advance the kingdom of God on earth and in the metaverse as well. We see the metaverse as a mission field, especially for young people. Is digital evangelism, is the next year digital evangelism. The question is, are we ready for that? We really want to equip people. We want to equip young people, and we want to build things in the metaverse so that when our young people step into the metaverse, they can find places of safety and refuge. And we have our leaders and we have our pastors who are ready to love people in the metaverse, rather than leaders and pastors who avoid that space, right? We want the best Christians leader. We want the best Christian leader. We want the best Christian counselor. We want the best Christian pastors to be ready in the metaverse in order to love the people when they come in. Yeah, so I think those are some cool stuff, right, that we have in mind when it comes to doing evangelism in the metaverse. There's a lot more to be said, and there's a lot of things that we need to continue to research and to develop, and how basically to answer the question, how do we reach out to people in the metaverse? I will share more of that in the days to come. If you guys are super curious, you can engage me for a conversation. Happy to always connect for round 2 because of the time. Yeah, we can build concert hall, we can run worship, we can run worship night in the metaverse. Can I tell you what's available on the metaverse right now? I will just say that Snoop Dogg is big in the metaverse, right? Snoop Dogg is like, they have his house party, they are smoking weed in the metaverse, and they're listening to trash music, right? I just wonder if we could, create a place where people can find serenity and they could worship the Lord in that space. Can we give people an alternative rather than just like tell them like, oh, just go to Snoop Dogg? because if we don't disciple our people, the world will. So yeah, we will have more conversation about that. Let's move on. Oh, 𝐽𝐻𝐻, man, keeps playing, man. 𝐽𝐻𝐻. All right, I'm gonna share a little bit about some biblical wisdom. All right, they tell me I have 8 minutes, right? I will try to do it in 8 minutes, right? I have 4 points for you. When approaching cryptocurrency, when approaching NFT, can I tell you that a lot of evil will arise from your heart, right? And these evil they are dormant until they are triggered, and they're triggered by these things. They're triggered by the appeal of quick wealth, or they are triggered by the appeal of pride. Can I tell you that the most prevalent, one of the few emotions that are very prevalent when you step into this space is number one, greed. You would think like, wow, I can make money. Greed will be very prevalent. Pride will be very prevalent. Wow, I have this. I'm cooler than you, right? Envy will be very prevalent. Envy and jealousy. You look at your friend like, wow, that guy made so much money, right? Fear will be very prevalent because like you put your money in and things drop. And you're like, oh no, what happened, right? What will happen if I lose all my assets, right? So greed, fear, envy, all these are very prevalent emotion that exists in the NFT space, that exists in the crypto space. Pastors and leaders, if you are here and you're watching this, right? My question is, how are you shepherding your people who are in this space? Because we cannot tell the people, don't go in. The reality, and last, yes, Jake mentioned Irene Dao, that's last. These are all the new methods that are coming out. All these emotions and all these sins, right? They're very prevalent, And we can do one thing, we can tell people avoid, don't go into the Metaverse, don't dabble into crypto, don't dabble into NFT. We can say that, and they will avoid it for a season, but it's inevitable. Eventually, it will take over the world, and people will be normal, And if they're going to their army camps, guess what? Their friend's gonna ask them, hey, have you bought any NFT? Ryan is nodding his head because he's in army, and that's what they talk about, right? They will go to their uni, and their friends will ask them, hey, are you investing in crypto? And if all we say is, hey, don't go into that space, I think it'll be very weird lah. We'll be like the 𝐽𝐻𝐻, like we don't touch technology. Yeah, I'm very guilty of this. I would tell people, get your face out of Facebook and get your face in a good book. But that was when social media was in rage, right? But what I should have said is like, can you bring the good book into Facebook? Can you bring the presence of God into that space? Instead of saying, get out of Instagram, I should have said, you should preach the gospel on Instagram. Instead of saying, get out of TikTok, don't be distracted by TikTok, I should say, let's create content so we can reach the people in TikTok, right? Similarly for the Metaverse, right? Instead of saying, hey, let's avoid this space altogether because it's so filled with greed, envy, fear, we don't fight sin by avoiding it. We ask the Lord to transform us into his image. Yeah, so I think when it comes to fear and greed and all these emotions, I feel all of them. I trade NFT for a living, right? I feel all these emotions, especially at the start. I feel a lot of fear. I feel a lot of greed. I feel a lot of greed, and I feel a lot of greed, and I feel a lot of greed. What is the solution? Is the solution, Rod, get out, don't dabble in this anymore? Or the solution, go to the Lord and say, Lord, I see that greed is coming out from my heart. I don't want to be greedy. I don't like this person. Lord, make me more like you. I want to look like you, Jesus, right? I want to look the way that you look, and you're not someone who is greedy, but you're someone who's generous. You're a generous God, right? So, Lord, will you transform me to your image? I feel like there's a better way of pastoring, than telling our young people, get out of that space, right? Get out, yes, and then now be transformed to the likeness of Christ. Yeah, the Bible says this, flee youthful lusts, but pursue righteousness, right? Can we teach our people to pursue righteousness? Can we teach our people to pursue the likeness of Christ, right? That is something that I really, really believe in, and that's the thing. All right, so I'm going to share some biblical principles. I feel like these are some good guidance, and these are good biblical guides to help you kind of begin a conversation with God, and also kind of use this as a base. If you're going to talk to young people, if you're going to shepherd young people, this could be a good base for you to build more content upon. So I'll just share very quickly 4 ways that the Lord wants us to deal with money, right? So first way, the way that we spend our money is very important, right? So one of the key things that I learned when I was a young person, right, in church, is that they'll teach us only spend what you can. So never in my life, right, have I got into credit card debt, because I only spend what I can. I only spend what I have, because there's a principle that people teach me. Apparently, 95% of Singaporeans are in credit card debt. 95, according to OCBC, right? I went to Google it, right? And I'm glad that I haven't gotten into it, because like the principle that I learned in church when I was younger is that the rich will rule over the poor and the borrower will be slave to the lender, right? So I will only spend what I can. Next one is that when I spend money, every decision is a spiritual decision. Am I involving a lot when I buy this cryptocurrency, for example? Am I involving a lot when I buy this NFT? You know, all decisions, every decision is a spiritual decision that I want to make with the Lord. I want to learn, I want to ask the Lord, Lord, should I buy this? I have done all my research, and my research have brought me here. And now I'm asking you, Lord, should I buy this? And then the Lord will say yes or no. I will just learn, learn the voice of the Holy Spirit. And it's a training for me. Every decision is a spiritual decision. Yeah. So next one. Yeah, and I think God wants you to enjoy the gift that He has bestowed to you, lah. So if you have resources, the Lord has blessed you with resources, the Lord wants you to enjoy it. He's not someone who is super stingy. God wants you to be blessed. I really believe that. That is the first thing when it comes to spending, super key, right? Number one, involve the Lord. Number two, only spend what you can. Next one, saving is wisdom, right? Look at the ant, you sluggard, right? Consider her ways and be wise. Having no captain, overseer, or ruler. Provide her supply in summer and gather her food for harvest. Saving is a biblical principle, right? I think I don't need to teach this, but I think young people don't know it. They just spend all the money that they make, right? But having wisdom is to know how to save. And why save? The Lord will teach us. There's this principle called the Joseph principle, where Joseph actually saved 1/5, which is 20% of all of the increase in the land in the time of plenty. I use this. When I make money, I will keep at least 20%. I will save at least 20%. What happened when you save? Looking at Joseph's life, if you go and read Genesis 41, you'll see what Joseph did with the money that he saved. When he saved, he actually creates a spaces of safety, where the whole of Egypt is safe because Joseph saved. I know that it's a mouthful, right? The whole place is safe because Joseph saved. So similarly for us, we need to learn how to save, because there might come a time of famine. I'm not proclaiming a curse over you, but I'm just saying that, sometimes it happens, like COVID. My parents sell noodles. They sell lor-mee. Business was affected, and it's totally unexpected. My friend is in construction. His business is affected. But because they have saving, they created spaces of safety for themselves, right? The next thing, we save. I learned this from a friend, right? A dear friend. He says that when we save, right, we create spaces for opportunity. You know what Joseph did during the famine? Joseph had so much saving that he can purchase land, right? He could create more, or he have resources ready to deploy when there's an opportunity. Yeah. So when we save, we create spaces for opportunity. The reality is this: a few weeks ago, I saw a BAYC and it was trading at 60 Ethereum. And I know that it's a good deal. I know that it is worth at least 90 Ethereum, right? But it was trading at 60 Ethereum. But the thing is this: I don't have enough saving. I don't have enough saving to purchase that 60 Ethereum BAYC. But someone who is rich, someone who have a lot of saving, will be able to take action with that and make use of that opportunity, right? So anyway, that's beside the point. I'm not saying that all NFT decisions are great, but I'm saying that once you have resources, you actually create spaces of opportunity, not just to make more money, but actually you create opportunity to sow into people's life. If I don't have money, I can't bless someone else. I can't be a blessing to someone I see on the street or a missionary that I speak to. I can't just like, hey, here's $500. I can't, because I have no saving. But because I do have saving, the Lord have given me this bandwidth for me to bless the people that I meet, which is, I think, super awesome. Right. Next one, investing. Right. The investing setup is actually God's setup. I know the word sounds a bit weird. I think I might have typed too fast. The way that the Lord organized the world is that as long as the earth remains, there is seed time and there's harvest. Seed time and harvest is actually investing, right? A farmer would sow, but what will a farmer do when he sow? He sow, and then he would expect a harvest. right? But when a farmer sows, he's also aware of the risk of crop failure. It's a calculated risk for the farmer. So seed time and harvest is natural, right? It is something that, we should think about, like, can I find seed and can I put seed somewhere that will cause it to become fruit that I can sell? Yeah. Seed time and harvest is a system that is ordained by the Lord. A farmer should also, like DYODD, which means do your own due diligence, right? So the farmer should know that, hey, if I plant melon seed here, it will not work. I should do more research. Maybe this plantation is great for rice, but it might not be good for corn, right? So different things, right? All right, let's move forward. Investing, is it biblical to invest? I would say it's unbiblical to not invest. So if you look at the parable of the talent here, Matthew 26:25, the master, being the Lord, actually, reprimanded the person who, should have invested the talent. He said, you ought to have invested my money with the bankers minimally, so when I come, I should receive to my own with interest. If and when the Lord blesses you with abundance, it is not biblical if you don't invest, right? Minimally put your money in a bank, right? And get some interest from the bank. That's what this passage is saying. Minimally, right? You don't have to 2x the money, right? You don't have to 3x, 10x. You don't even have to get 10% of the money. But at least put it in the bank. At least put it somewhere where you use some interest. Yeah, because of inflation rate and all that, you're actually losing money every year if you don't get at least some interest, right? So it is biblical to invest. That's the long and short of it. Yes, next one. I love this, okay? Someone shared this with me. It's about diversifying your portfolio. It's actually in Ecclesiastes. It says, cast your bread upon many water, and you shall find after many days. Give a serving of 7 and also to 8. Yeah. So if you read another translation, someone trying to break down what Solomon is trying to say, effectively the imagery is that you're at a seaport and you're putting your investment in different boats that will bring back different returns. So 7 different investment class, maybe, right? But the principle I take away from this is don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Give a serving of 7 to 8, diversify your portfolio. That's just a biblical principle that we need to be aware of. Let's not put everything into one asset class, because what if the asset class crash? Let's not put all your money into OCBC. What if you gonna scam? Right? Could you diversify? Could you hold some cash? Could you hold some gold? Could you hold some stablecoin? Could you hold some money in DBS as well, or Citibank? Yeah. Could you stake stable coins? I don't know. Right. But if you put all of your asset in one place, right, it is a difficult place. Jonathan is asking me to end, but I cannot end until I share about giving, right? Because this is the greatest biblical wisdom that you can walk away with today, right? It is the Lord's money. The gold and the silver is mine, declare the Lord God Almighty, right? We need to recognize that the money that we own is not our own, but the money that we own is actually God's money, and we are called to be steward over it, right? So the Lord says, honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruit of your crop. We don't just give to needs. When we give to needs, we don't just give to needs. We give unto the Lord. And lastly, right, this is in the context of loving the poor. It says that as surely as you did this to the least of this, this is the context of giving and loving. It says that you did this to me. We give unto the Lord. We give because we're not obligated to give. That's one. Very important. We give unto the Lord. We give because we have a generous God. And lastly, we give because we reflect the generosity of our God onto this earth. Yeah. All right, I think that's all the time. The point of Christian abundance is generosity. Biblical wisdom, biblical principles to approach money, the way that we spend, the way that we invest, the way that we spend, invest, the way that we save, and also the way that we give. All right, I got a few messages from my team. One of my team says, segue. John, segue? What's the segue?
It means segue now.
You want me to talk about mission?
Yes,
Rod, if you don't mind, I'm so sorry. One of the slides, right? We realized that we actually placed Matthew 26:25. The correct verse is actually Matthew 25. So that's just for everyone here. Yeah.
Thanks. Put it in the comment. Yeah. Check your Bibles, right, guys? I'm mostly wrong. Yeah. I'm kidding. MissionDAO, just a quick one, right? MissionDAO is who we are. We are a transparent, decentralized mission giving fund. We exist to alleviate human suffering, advance the kingdom of God on earth and the metaverse. So I mentioned a bit about metaverse. We are also doing stuff on earth, right? In the real physical world. My team will talk a little bit about that later. Yes, so don't really want to spend a lot of time talking about us. We will be selling NFT, right? And with the NFT sale, we will fund both digital and traditional mission. One of the things that we're very big on is transparency, right? Every transaction that you see in the MissionDAO can be tracked all the way until the money reaches the missionary. So why transparency is so important to me? Because I believe that secrecy is where sin thrives, right? Secrecy is where sin thrives. We have seen, leaders, and we have seen pastors, and we have seen presidents of big organizations and directors, right, abuse money. Why they abuse money? Why can they abuse money? Why is there misappropriation of funds? It's because there's lack of transparency. And why people can abuse power is because power is centralized at them. So I'm not going to name drop, right? But we all know, right? Even in Singapore, we have NKF, right? I just name drop, I'm so sorry, right? We have a charitable organization that the director, please edit that out, right? We have a charitable organization where the director spend the money on a golden toilet bowl. That is not cool. And why can he make that kind of decision? Firstly, things are not transparent. Things can be hidden. There can be misappropriation of funds. Secondly, why is there abuse of power? Because power is centralized at the director himself, right? So for us, we want to alleviate that totally. So as the founder of the MissionDAO team, I'm not, entitled to more decision-making power than anybody else, right? Neither is my team, but voting is actually spread out. And also transparency, you could see every transaction. I cannot transfer money to myself and pocket it, so I can buy my NFTs, right? I can't do that, right? Because it's all transparent. Everybody can see it. So we do want to create a new way of giving, a refreshing way of giving, strengthening public trust, where people can see exactly where our money is going and how decisions are being made. So yeah, this is how it looks like when it comes to the voting process. Someone will propose an idea, we have an informal discussion, then we have a formal discussion, we will have some community feedback, then we'll go into snapshot for voting. So these are stuff that we'll do in our town halls. The way that we approach our decision making, that's one. This is the way that we approach our money. When someone buy an NFT, it costs them $300 US. This is where the money is going to. It's a bit higher in our operation, and this time because we are actually paying for almost 3/4 of staff pay. So the last few months and the last few months, the team haven't been paid. They're doing this, really knowing that, we are trying to build something, we will get paid later, no problem, right? So that's kind of like the approach of the team. Personally, as the founder of MissionDAO, I'm not being paid, neither am I getting a cut, so I'm getting $0 from the organization. The Lord have abundantly blessed me in other ways, in other means. I don't really have to take money from MissionDAO. So doing this voluntarily, and everything will be transparent, we can even, there's also community wallet and stuff like that, fun stuff they'll be doing, supporting local business, supporting Christian businesses, supporting Christian artists, and all of this will go back to benefit the MissionDAO holders. So it is quite an exciting journey, I think, that we have. And I think one of the things that we're really championing is traditional mission, funding of traditional mission transparently. And secondly, funding of digital mission, which I think is one of the most abandoned and forsaken few at this point. I spoke to Brian Barcelona recently of Jesus Club. He runs the biggest youth ministry in the United States. And he's also the most underfunded youth minister because all his ministry is done online. Because people think that they don't need money to, run an event online, but actually they do need money to run conferences and all that. So the biggest youth ministry in the United States, Jesus Club, is also the most underfunded. Why? Because they're digital. For us, we are big on that. We believe in the next generation. We believe in reaching to the next generation. That's why we are gonna give heavily to digital missions, to people like Brian Barcelona, Jason Coin, all these people, Jacob Coin and Jonathan Ogden. These are people that want to give heavily to, and also investing in the metaverse, creating VR experience, which I wish I have the time to tell you. I wish I have the time to tell you about the VR experience we want to create to articulate the gospel in a new and different way. Those are the things that we want to be invested in when it comes to digital mission, as well as supporting traditional missions that is already around. So yeah, we'll be selling these cards, which will be very cool. We'll be launching the card itself in February. So it will cost about 400 Singapore dollars, 300 US dollars. Again, look at this thing again, right? All of the funds can be tracked and it can be seen transparently. Every dollar will be seen. And I think that's an amazing thing. And I hope that you would have, the Lord will move in your heart to give, to this organization, to this transparent organization, to this decentralized organization, funding both digital and traditional mission. Yeah, so this is what the utility of the NFT. When you give, you actually fund traditional mission, digital mission, supporting Christian business, supporting Christian artists, and you're pioneering a new way of giving. This is fun, right? Yes. So, and then also you'll receive really cool art. We have got some really cool artists on board to make this Genesis art for us. You are going to be a part of a kingdom-minded community, people who think the same way. You get to vote, on importance matters. You get to participate in this experience. And we will send you some merch as well, by supporting our businesses. We have a whole infrastructure there. So yeah, that's it. Ryan, I'm so sorry, I overran. Please, what do we do now?
All right. Thank you so much, Rod, for sharing. Right now, we'll be passing the time over to a little bit of sharing from our other friends here.
Yeah. So I just wanted to thank you, Rod, so much for speeding us through everything. We just thought of sharing a bit and introducing a bit of our team to you. So yeah, you all know I'm Joyce, helping doing a bit more on the marketing side, getting partners. A lot of interesting things that have happened in the last couple of months since we started. I think for now though, I'll just like DB, Daryl, to share just a short bit on who are some of the artists and what we how we envisioning our Genesis mean to be. Yeah. Can't hear you, DB. Sorry.
Hello, DB.
Hello, DB. I think he's mute. Hi.
Oh. Okay, maybe.
No, it's okay. Maybe I continue first. Yeah. Okay. So just sharing some cool things that has happened. I think we're really blown away with the support that has come in so far. So we actually had Jonathan Ogdenity mentioned from UK, who's a musician from Rivers and Robots. We also have a couple of pastors from the US that we co-messaged and they responded or they actually reached out to us. So I think our whole team is just so heartened to see that like people even though we don't have like a formal title or anything like that, but they're actually just saying, hey, how can I help? I would like to introduce this to my community. I would love to like do a shout out for you guys, IG Live. So that's actually what we've been working on for the last couple of months. Trying to build up the community. So Ryan has been working very hard on the Discord and having all these initiatives and informing people. John as our writer, so if you see all the posts that we're putting out, the Medium articles, I think we're really big on educating and laying the foundations before taking that next step. And then we have Sarah, who does the overall project management, and then of course Josh, who will share more on the missionaries. On myself, I think I'm really personally very passionate about missions. I do have a couple of friends who, because of this current season, they have been sort of stranded because of COVID. They don't get a regular funding, because they can't like go to the countries. Or one missionary we spoke to also said that, she came back to Singapore and she can't go back to the country she used to serve in because of the COVID restrictions. And sometimes it's quite of a shock to them where, okay, what do I do now? I've been spending all the time in the field. I don't even have skill sets to go back into the workforce. So I think our heart really goes out to a lot of these missionaries that might not have funding from like huge organizations. We found that this was a great way to give. So I would like to share, maybe we can hop over to show some of our missionaries, and I'll let Josh share a bit on that. Yes, okay. So we have a special guest actually, but I'll let her come on in a little bit. Maybe we can share some of the others first. Yeah. For missionaries, we really take care to handpick them. So Josh, you want to share a bit on that part?
Yeah, so what you can see here, hi everybody, I'm Josh. What you can see here is just 3 of the 7 missionary organizations they're working with. The last organization here, as you can see, is redacted. This 7 or 8 kind of missionaries or organizations they're working with is really meant to give a sense, right, of the kinds of organizations that we want to back. So even sometimes, you know, we have people that might be working in sensitive areas. So while we can personally connect with them on a personal level, you know, we try to redact their names for any public collaterals. But maybe we can move on to the next slide. I just want to share a little bit about MissionDAO's philosophy when it comes to funding. You know, like, who do we search for? How do we understand all this? So, you know, here in MissionDAO, we really hold to the concept of integral missions. I'm sure many of you in this chat probably are familiar with that. And I think really, for those that are not as familiar, is the idea that the proclamation of the gospel must be accompanied with a demonstration of it. So it must be accompanied with some form of social justice aspects, you know. As such, right, what we try to do is we provide once-off funding to a variety of missions projects, from stuff like gospel preaching ministry to safe houses, youth centers, feeding programs, to even infrastructural types of projects. Beyond just the types of projects that we fund, we also fund individuals, so individual missionaries themselves for their livelihoods and etc., and also projects. And if we can go to the next slide. You know, but one of the really exciting thing about MissionDAO is that we really want to be on the cutting edge of what missions is like today. You know, the face of missions is changing with an increasing emphasis on digital missions. Just now talked to you a little bit about Jesus Clubs. They are very cool. They are Gen Z missionaries reaching and discipling their generation through TikTok. You know, I'm hearing reports of how they are not just evangelizing, preaching the gospel, they're also discipling and even baptizing them, you know, through Zoom. So very, very exciting things that they're doing. Yet at the same time, they remain heavily underfunded just because the type of mission work that they do, remains to be, you know, not as easily understood by the broader body of Christ. So we want to find this kind of underfunded projects and put our money behind them and to fund them so that they can advance the work of God, you know, on earth, but also in the metaverse. So that's all from me. I believe right now we are going to have very exciting. We're going to have one of our missions partners to share. So this is from Rebirth of a Queen. So I just want to pass the time over. Maybe we can spotlight her. All right, that is her right there.
Hi, Pauline. This is Pauline.
Hi, Pauline.
Hi.
Hey. Yeah.
Hey, can everyone hear me? Hi.
Yes, we can all hear you. Please share with us about what Rebirth of a Queen is all about.
Oh, thank you so much. And it just looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. Oh, God. My name is Pauline Juma. I am from Kenya, currently residing at 𝐾𝐨𝐺, Kenya. It's one of the villages. It's one of the towns in Kenya. It's a rural town. And Rebirth of a Queen is a dream that I had in 2018. After when I was healing from sexual and domestic violence, and you know, one of these days I was sitting down and I asked God, what do you really want me to do for you? Because this pain has been too much for me. This pain has been too heavy for me, but I feel it's time I should share the healing and the love that you've had in my life to another person. And I started with mentorship. I used to mentor teenagers and children, because for me, in my society where I came from, and that is one of the largest slums in Kenya, Kibera, there was so much pain, there was so much violence affecting children and girls. And I started by just training them, modeling, and just reminding them of the love of God in their life, reminding them that they still have love in them, which is something that poverty robs from us. And it robs us dignity, it robs us even our mental health. And that is how I started. And 2019 December, I was like, let me just start Rebirth of a Queen. It was just like that, Rebirth of a Queen. And I told God, this is an opportunity even for me as a person to heal everything single day, and to remind a survivor of sexual and domestic violence that you have an opportunity to heal every single day. So at the moment, we are running a safe house for survivors of gender-based violence. So that is any girl or any child that is going through domestic violence, child abuse, child marriage, which is very rampant, and defilement and sexual violence, which again, and unfortunately, it is very rampant in the country right now. And so far, we are located in one of the villages in 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭, and we are a self-funded organization. When I say self-funded, it means 90% of the income that supports Rebirth of a Queen comes from our pocket. So it's me and the team, and well-wishers, anyone who feels like they want to support Rebirth of a Queen, they support Rebirth of a Queen. We still don't have like huge donors, and I was listening to one of us speaking about how finances sometimes are being misused. It's one of the major challenges in our country right now, because we have a lot of organizations that receive funds, but they had a job. It's being done with the safe houses at this moment, and we are running at almost at zero cost, because we have rent to pay for the safe houses. We have the girls that need to go to the hospitals. We have girls who come here and they give birth here. But we do this because sometimes I feel it is God helping us. If it's not God, I don't know what could have happened. It is God helping us. And when MissionDAO, through some approached me, I was so excited, because I've worked with, we once connected with Sam when they came to Kenya in Meru. And one of the prayers I had in 2020 and 2021, I was telling God, with how gender advocacy is, I really need a missionary or a mission organization that will help us, even as a safe house, the girls and everyone at the safe house be raised in a Christian values, because there is a lot of pain in the world. And sometimes we lose ourselves in pain, we lose ourselves and forget that there is God. So I am so excited that we are part of MissionDAO. I am so excited that we are going to work more together. And I am so excited to every one of you that is using the digital world to spread God's love and God's kindness to the world. I'm really humbled to work with you, and I'm really humbled that I'll get to learn so much from you, from MissionDAO and each and every one of you, because we learn every single day. And for us, the NFT, it's something so new actually to me, so new. So we will be so excited to learn from all of you. We'll be so excited to collaborate with you. We'll be so excited if you keep spreading the love to our children. And we are positive that one day we are going to raise a generation that will stand and say, if it were not for God, we couldn't be here. We are going to raise lawyers. We are going to raise authentic pastors and preachers to this nation. We are going to raise people who are going to fund organizations authentically. And we are just so excited that we are starting this journey with you. Thank you so much, MissionDAO. Thank you to everyone. And I appreciate you all. I'm sending love and positive energy to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Pauline.
Wow. Thank you, Pauline. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Love the work that you're doing over there.
Wow, it's amazing. Yeah. It's people like Pauline that, we really, when we hear the stories, we're actually pledging an amount for them to buy land. Yeah, so right now they're renting, and every month it incurs a recurring cost, but really hope that they can really own a land for themselves and really continue the great work that she's been doing with the girls. Yeah, so yeah, she's just one of the many people that we hope to reach out to. And that's why I think by joining MissionDAO, we hope that you'll be part of this participative process of giving as well. Yeah, I think we also recognize that in this next generation, it's, giving has become, something that is you feel very far away from the person that you're giving to. And we hope to create more of that. Yeah, with you too, Pauline. Yeah, like you have updates. Yeah, I would love for you to share more. Yeah. Be in our Discord, like in our.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So back to Broad. I think we have a little bit of time for Q&A.
Yeah, I think the time now is 10:05. So I think those who thanks for coming, thanks for making time. We will make this recording available. Yes, Ryan. Yes, yes. Very likely we'll make this recording available. So don't worry. It's a bit late right now. You guys have to make your move. Please feel free to hop off the chat. Thank you once again for tuning in. For coming to hear a little bit more. But if you have any questions, Joyce, I think we could totally take some questions together, whether it's about MissionDAO, whether it's about Christianity and crypto, or whether it's like a crypto specific question. Feel free to stay behind. Otherwise, just leave anytime. It's totally chill. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. All right, Joyce, how should we do this?
Okay. I think we have a lot of questions. So yeah. Shall we start with, okay. I think some people talk about, how, when you invest, how do you calculate versus doing your due diligence? Yeah, I think in investing versus due diligence, I think quite a few people had that question, like how do you pick projects? How do you choose? How do you even begin?
Oh, like personally, like investing in NFT and cryptocurrency and all that. I feel like, to be very honest, right, when it comes to NFT, 99% of NFT project that launch will fail. So I say that again, right? 99% of all NFT project will fail. It require a particular set of skills to be able to pick out that 1%. And I think that's why people hire me to do it professionally. Yeah, so I would say that investing in NFT is not for the retailers, especially when you're buying new projects. However, you're buying old projects that have some level of like stability, they have some level of industry, kind of like industry, what's that called? Standard. They have been around for a while, and you want to buy into them. Sure, do your research, approach it the same way that you're buying a share, like approach it the same way as buying shares in a company. Yeah, but when you're talking about buying new projects, I would say unless you're super confident, 99% of all NFT projects that launch will fail. Yeah, that's my talks.
Oh wow, thank you. Yes. There are many other questions I know you guys had. Maybe, okay, someone says, how about, from a creator's point of view, what any thoughts to share with someone who's creating their own?
The NFT market is a difficult market to penetrate, especially as a new artist. So every day I do see new artists trying to upload their work, hoping that someone would sell it, hoping that someone would buy it. A strong marketing team is required if you want to do exceptionally well in the NFT space. Otherwise, you could start by just selling your art, whether it's on super rare, on Foundation, or on OpenSea. Selling your NFT is the same as selling your art. It requires some level of marketing. Your Instagram should have some level of following. You should have people who like your stuff and want to buy your things before you put the art up there. Otherwise, it is as difficult as selling art. I would say that it's as difficult as selling art. It's just that your medium is now digital instead of physical. You can't sell it in a gallery, but you can sell it on Foundation. You can't sell it on a street, in the what's that called? Like in a shopping mall, but you could totally sell it on OpenSea. So these are just different platforms where art can be displayed and then sold. But usually art that is just displayed at the shopping mall might not be able to sell that quickly as well. Yeah.
Okay, how to approach? Yes. I think definitely it's a big question people do have is that why should we give to MissionDAO to the missionaries, right? So what some of the how do we safeguard, how do we audit and ensure that things are secure, and what are some of the pros of using this technology for fundraising?
Yeah, so the thing about, actually I can share the screen. Let me show you something. Let me show you a little bit about transparency in the metaverse. So this is Etherscan. Etherscan is where you find most transaction that happens on Ethereum. So let's just jump into, let me make sure that I'm in the right address. All right, so this is my address. I drop it in here, and of course we will provide the address for everybody else, right? Like, I mean, for MissionDAO, like you could track MissionDAO's wallet, right? You could see all of the transactions that I have made in the last few days, right? Earlier today, 7 hours ago, I set approval, meaning I wanted to sell a piece of NFT, right? 2 days ago, I claimed a membership NFT. A few days ago, I was minting some NFT, and you could see me selling this NFT. Here, I bought a sushi for this amount of Ethereum, and everything can be tracked, and I bought it from this person. So this is the person who sold it to me, and then these are the things that he did. So the thing about recording transactions on the blockchain is that everything is here and it can be seen and it can be checked. And you can see exactly how much I have in this wallet, which is 0.99 Ethereum, which is currently valued at 2.6 thousand US dollars. You can see all the NFT that I own. So these are all the NFT that I own, which is quite a bit. A lot of them are random. A lot of them are projects that fail, right? If you look at my OpenSea, it is a graveyard for projects that fail. You could see all the ERC tokens that I have. I have some here, I have some Lux Rare here. I have some other token here. This is, I think this is SOS. I have some SOS. I have some Ethereum here. So everybody could kind of check like what I have. And I think that's something, that's the level of transparency that we want. So when someone tracked the mission giving wallet, they would see every transaction that goes out. And not just that, every transaction cannot go out until the multi-signatory sign the transaction. So the layer of safety and the layer of transparency is actually very heavy in this space. Yeah. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, I think maybe also can share a bit online. I think the thing is, why I think the big question is like, why give missions funding through here, right? And I think, one being you want to share the transparency and
transparency one thing, but actually if you know a missionary and you can support the missionary directly, I would say do it, right? Just give to the missionary directly. You don't need us actually. Yeah, but what happened when you give through us is actually we create a level of economy of scale. Yeah, we can actually do a lot more if we were to do it together. That's the first one, economy of scale. Second one, if you believe in missions in the digital space and in the metaverse, I think we're the only one doing it. If there's something that you want to give to, there's somewhere where a lot place in your heart to give to, then MissionDAO is the place for you. So I think, and also lastly, if you appreciate transparency and you want to take part in this process, MissionDAO is the place for you. Otherwise, I feel like the lot can move in your heart to give in whatever other ways, to whatever other platform or to whatever missionary. And I think you should just follow the lot now. Yeah. So on my, and that's why MissionDAO exists. We exist so that we could really do it. We can really make an impact on Earth with all of our partners, including Rebirth of a Queen and Habibi and a few other people. Also, we exist to fund digital missions like Jesus Club, like the Metaverse stuff that we want to do. And also we want to do this in a transparent and decentralized way, which is new and novel and incredibly biblical. Actually, we could go into the theology of that in another time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that answer the question, Joyce?
I think, I hope, I think it might have, it does. I think the other thing is really that our heart is that, you being part of this. Right now, the missionaries that we pledged to, just to share with everyone, we only picked 7 to 8, right? Which is actually 10% only of the total amount we're going to raise for the Genesis Mint. Yeah, reason being because it would defeat the purpose of being decentralized if we're going to decide, right? So I think the ones we picked is just more to show the diversity and the type. So some are like digital missions, some are business as a mission, some are traditional missionaries. And I think the idea is that the rest of the amount will actually be then decided together with a vote. Yeah, for everyone who's part of the community and owns one of the governance token, which is actually the artwork, will get to have a say, and of maybe this cause, I want to prioritize this cause. This one is on my heart. And again open to people bringing up suggestions as well. But on our end, we do recognize and we are building a framework for due diligence, how we're going to vet and ensure that these missionaries are legitimate, that they're really doing good work on the ground. So we're in the process of setting up those processes as well. Yeah, so just letting you know how did we even select the first few. Yeah, they are just I guess more of a sampler, and they are not the full amount that we're gonna attach to. Yeah. So okay, yeah, then maybe we can share a bit about the app. Yeah, which artwork? Okay, there's how do I start? How do I navigate through crypto? Yes. Okay, maybe you can share a bit on like the metaverse. Like, how do you think that the metaverse can have how does it look like? Yeah.
Evangelism, metaverse.
Perspective. Yeah. How do you imagine?
I think there are many ways that we could approach evangelism in the metaverse. I'm going to give you 3 ways, right? So the first way is sending people in, right? Helping people understand the space, helping people understand the need. And then after that, sending our leaders, our pastors, our counselors into that space to find people to love on the streets of the metaverse. However the street looks like, whether it's Decentraland, Sandbox, New Horizon. Those are that's one of the way that we can approach it. The second way is to create spaces within the metaverse. The early missionaries, they know this. Any country that they set their foot on, they purchase a giant plot of land. In Singapore, we have St. Andrew Cathedral right next to Parliament. And we have a lot of these churches situated in the center of town. And the reason is because the early missionaries, they understand that we need the presence of God in the city, in the center of the city. So for us, for MissionDAO, how does it look like? Perhaps it looks like building a cathedral, within Decentraland. Maybe it looks like building a cathedral in Sandbox, so that when people go in, this is a place that is set apart unto the Lord, where we can host like services, where we can host we can rent it out for pastors to preach in, or we can rent it out for concert, or we can get Ryan to sing and lead us in worship. We can have Sydney Mohidi. He was just texting me. He said that he's so sorry that he couldn't make it today. Yeah, but he would love to pop in actually. So people like Sydney could run worship concert. We could have 24 hours worship that people can always run to in this space right in the city center of Decentraland, where they will come in and they will encounter the presence of God, whether through the preaching of the word, through meeting the saints, or through the worship. Yeah, so I think that is something that we can do as well. That's the second thing. Lastly, we can create a VR experience to preach the gospel. That I'm very passionate about. So VR technology, can I just say that the primary use right now, there's 2 use cases for VR technology now. The first use case is gaming. People use VR technology for gaming. And very sadly, the next use case that people use VR technology for is actually for pornography. So it's really tragic, right? VR is used for that case. So if somebody buy a VR headset right now, these are the things that they can use it for. So the question is, can we create an alternative, can we create a Christian narrative? Can we create the creation story within VR? So just imagine you put on a VR headset and it is completely dark. And you hear in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And right before your very eyes, you see the world being created as if you're there with the Lord. And you are there at the garden and you see the fall of man. And you see, you see David and Goliath. Imagine being at the scene, at FSW, where David and Goliath was going through. Imagine letting your kids experience this, and then seeing the giant fall before your eyes, And then imagine being on a camel, with the Magi's, and you guys are seeking after the Lord. And you hear the Magi say, there is one born the King of the Jews. As if you're there. VR technology enable you to be there as if you're there. And imagine walking with Jesus as he does ministry, seeing how gentle he is to the woman at the well, seeing how Jesus is so kind to the woman caught in adultery. When the Pharisee threw her before the crowd, and then Jesus said to them, he who is without sin, let him cast the first stone. And then you look around and you start to hear the stones drop. And when you look around, you see the people start to leave one by one. Just imagine, that you can walk down with Jesus down the Via Dolorosa, and you can walk with Jesus until Calvary, and you can see him die on the cross for your sins. And imagine all of this in VR. This is the new way of articulating the gospel. We have used words, we have used text, we have used photography, we have used art, we have used film, We have used like movies and film and TV. VR is the next endeavor. Could we articulate the gospel story in VR? You know, in a 3D environment, in a 3D experience. That is something that I feel like MissionDAO we want to invest in. We want to recreate. We want to create an MVP by the end of the year. We want to load all of these things into the VR headset and send it throughout the entire world. Give it to our missionary in with Habibi, and it will be preached to them in Arabic, right? The story will be narrated to them in Thai or in French or in Japanese. This is the new way of articulating the gospel, I think. And that's something that we can do in the metaverse and VR. We'll put it up onto the blockchain. It will be immutable. It will always be there. So evangelism in the metaverse, in a nutshell, these are 3 ways that we can approach it. Yeah, Joyce?
Yes, I think someone did ask. I really love that question, you know, on like, yeah, isn't it? Oh, thank you, Pauline. So great to have you.
Cheers, Pauline.
Yeah, you'll hear more from her, by the way. Yeah, she'll be, yeah, we're sharing more on our socials about her. Yes. So yeah, I think someone asked about, you know, how is it like complicating you know, something that might already have a solution. I mean, of course, you know, there are charity organizations, there's World Vision, there are others that are giving to missions, right? I think one big thing, of course, is with the blockchain. For one, you save on forex fees. Yeah, I mean, just a simple example, I was gonna pay a freelancer in Philippines, and it already cost me, I think, 20% more when I just sent him by online by normal bank transfer or Western Union. So I mean, things like that, and then it's fast, it's immediate. Yeah, and interestingly, there was the recent story. I don't know if you've heard of the Afghan girl. Yeah, the one that appeared in the magazine. She was actually given citizenship in Italy, and the way that they raised funds for her was actually through Meta Good, where they raised it through using crypto, and they got the funds for her to actually to bring her to Italy. So I think these are just some of the ways that we could and especially for some of the missionaries that we're reaching out to that are in areas that are a little bit more sensitive and things get tracked, you know, they may not necessarily have you know, a bank account number. But yeah, I think with we see that with the blockchain technology we can bypass some of those restrictions. And of course, I think in terms of the operational cost as well, I think in terms of like all the auditing, the middleman that has to be involved, typically in a large charity organizations, that will be a lot more lean. Yeah, and we would like as much as possible to have for the amounts to be given to the missionary. Yeah, but I think obviously apart from that, I think it's also about, I mean, intentionally for our launch, we are not hoping that, you know, one person would buy like 20 artwork and, you know, and these like huge donors. We're hoping that it will be more like a crowdfunded thing where there are many people, right? For the first time, they may have never given before. You know, it might have been in their heart, but they always felt like, okay, I don't know a missionary personally. I feel it's very impersonal to just drop it in a box and not know where it goes to. And I think furthermore, being in a like-minded community. So we have people in our Discord. I mean, I think there's people who sign up for this from El Salvador, Philippines, UK, Australia, and all that. You know, being of the same heart and mind, and, you know, sharing like, hey, what is God doing in different parts of the world, right? And then being able to share that, being able to even share, what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, you know, not necessarily confined in the 4 walls of the church. So I think to us, the community is also the valuable aspect of that, you know, giving together, you know, sharing, seeing that the beauty of the body of Christ coming together. Yeah, and of course, I mean, a small part of it is being able to reinvest that into also like other Christian businesses, with the community wallet as well. Yeah, so I think our heart is really for that, and to also a way to appreciate our artists. So actually some of our 5 first artists, I mean, one is Sydney Mohidi, another person is actually a faith-based artist from Malaysia, and we have a couple more that we are from US. So I also think it's a great way for, you know, people from around the world to share their expression of, you know, how they see God, like you know, how is love expressed from the Bible to them. Yeah, because our 5, maybe Rod, you can actually share a bit on the cards. I just thought it would be cool to share because some of them might not know how it. Yeah.
Cards?
The NFT itself. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so the NFT website is really cool. We want to articulate the gospel, the Bible story within the NFT itself. So for the Genesis launch, we're actually having 5 different designs, right? So the design actually spanned throughout 5 stories that the artists actually pick from the book of Genesis. So we have a range of artists, and they are bringing their work, their style, trying to articulate the narrative of the art. Our desire is that, as we move on, we do Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, we have more and more creative Christian expression of these biblical stories that we'll be putting up for sale, which I think will be very cool. Yeah, personally very excited about that. Yeah, in terms of the art and how we can articulate the gospel story.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm reading Dan's question.
Yes.
It says, now in the metaverse, I do agree that there are potential bringing churches across border. Not the only nagging fear I have with regards to this is that we may replicate the problem that we have in the physical world with churches online. Perhaps the way to go is not to bring legacy into it, but to reinvent the church in a new way, in the X way, old wine in new wineskin. Then I totally agree. And I think it is something that is super new, you see. It is something that we have no idea how church in the metaverse work. I attended a conference 2 weeks ago with pastors who are actually pastoring in the metaverse. So they're sharing me their challenges, they're sharing me the way that they're navigating it. And it is a very unique sense of challenge as well, because you're reaching a totally different group of people. Physical churches, I believe, is still the best way for people to encounter God. But sometimes the only way that people can encounter God is through the metaverse. So I think we serve a very, very different function from physical churches. And I believe 100% that physical churches should still be in operation, and they should still pastor, and they should still shepherd. It's just that there are people who will be in the metaverse. The question is, how are we going to take care of them as well? Yeah, so I hope that more churches will have a digital branch where they are thinking about how do we shepherd people digitally. How do we shepherd people in the metaverse? How do we love on people through YouTube and Twitter and through Discord and through Decentraland and Sandbox? So having a church to think about these things will require them to appoint a person or even a department to heavily consider these spaces where people are existing in. Yeah. Zhonghan asked, how will I survive without a salary? And the answer, the Lord has provided for me, and the Lord will continue to provide for me. Yeah, money is not an issue for the Lord. I have never lacked, and I don't think I will ever lack, because the Lord is my shepherd. I have a heavenly Father who takes care of me. I always have enough, and I have more to give even. So yeah, so I'm just thankful that the Lord always takes care of me. Yeah, so don't have to draw a salary from MissionDAO. Yeah, this will be a place where I can volunteer and give onto the Lord, and even bring my own resources and bring it to the MissionDAO and to give to the MissionDAO as well. Yeah. John, do we have another question, or are we good?
Maybe just one that was asked earlier, and I think everyone here might be a bit aware that right now things are a bit fluctuating with cryptocurrency. So, yeah. So
the question is, how do we deal with fluctuation in cryptocurrency, right? Yeah. So for MissionDAO, we are not dealing with Ethereum. Neither are we dealing with other fluctuating quote unquote currency. We are actually dealing with stable coins. So the stable coin that we're using is actually USDC. So that is the stable coin that we are using, and we will be on the Polygon network, meaning that the transaction that you guys will be making will be free. So what will happen actually is that we are working directly with Polygon. So Polygon is one of our partners. They'll be opening a faucet for us to use. They'll be opening a faucet for you all to get free Matic, so that you can make free transaction within the Polygon network. In the days to come, we'll be showing you how exactly to get USDC into the account and how to mint your NFT. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that answered the question.
Yes.
Yeah.
People are asking, how do they give mints? Okay, so maybe someone unfamiliar with what it means to mint an NFT, and maybe you can share a bit on we're launching in a couple of weeks.
So we'll be launching on the 22nd of February. What will happen is that there will be a website where you can connect your MetaMask wallet. I know it's a lot of things to say right now. We will definitely have a long tutorial to take you step by step. But what happened essentially is that you will bring money, whether it's USDC, you bring the money and then you interact with a contract. It sounds complicated, but it's just a few clicks of a button, right? You interact with a contract, you move the money into the contract, which gives into the mission giving fund, and then you will receive in your wallet NFT, which is the artwork, the Genesis artwork. It'll be randomized. You might not know what you get, or it'll be randomized. You'll get the artwork, and this artwork will be in your wallet, and you can use this artwork for voting, coming into our Discord. There is a channel. So those are some of the things that we are setting aside for. Yeah. Daniel asked, there will be another session on 8 February FaithX with the content quite similar to today's session. Yes, the content will be quite similar, but we will have less content for the FaithX one. So we really want to take more time to do Q&A over with FaithX. So I'll be sharpening our content, talking a little bit more, less about DAO, but a little bit more about MissionDAO itself. Yeah, and not so much about the Metaverse unless you all ask about it. Yeah, so that's but the first part, talking about cryptocurrency, talking about the different types of NFT, we will definitely cover that if that is helpful. Is it necessary to be whitelisted to me? Whitelisting will be very easy. It will be a very easy process to be whitelisted. We just need to make sure that you're a real human being. Yeah, so that's our only condition for whitelisting. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we will definitely have more information sent on like how to go about minting it. Yeah. I think that will be sent in later on. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, but meanwhile, if anyone has, any partners of artists, missionaries, people who would love to, it doesn't have to be monetary, even, anything that you feel would be great for us to connect with, please, please do share. Yeah, please do share and link us out with them. And most importantly, really your prayers as well. Yes.
Yeah, the time now, we have past 10:30. Let's pray. And then maybe Sister Joyce can pray for us. And then we'll call it a night. Yeah. Joyce?
Will do. Okay. Okay, thank you, Lord. Thank you so much, Abba, for every single person that has come into this call. We want to pray that right now that you just, whatever seeds have been sown, whatever you've been speaking to them personally about even this whole new space, right? I pray that we will approach it not with, with greed or with self-effort or even approach it the way that the world approaches it. But I just pray for your wisdom. Yeah, I pray for your wisdom and your divine, I believe, steps to take in this next next season ahead. And I thank you that you refresh each person. Yeah, give them a great rest tonight, and even whatever decisions they're making also into this space and conversations that they're going to be having, right? I declare and I pray that they'll be filled with your joy, your peace, and every step of the way, even for this MissionDAO project, that you send us the right people, and even growing this community, you give each of us the wisdom. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay.
Amen. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you again. Reach out to us on Instagram, Discord, all sorts of channel. We'll love to continue the conversation. Should we have any?
Yes.
If you're a church, non-profit organization looking for consulting, reach out to me directly. If you're a business, brand, or organization looking to onboard onto Web3, you could reach out to me as well, but I'll only be available after Q2. So that's all from me. Adios. Thanks for coming by. See you guys.
Take care. Discord, we'll send over some PDFs and probably the slides from today. Yeah. So thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thanks a lot. God bless.
God bless. God bless you, David.